All right, everyone. Good evening. I am Cindy Darling, the mayor of Walnut Creek, and welcome to the Tuesday, February 4th, 2025 regular meeting of the Walnut Creek City Council. The City Council is conducting this meeting from the City Council chambers. This meeting is being video streamed and can be viewed live or later at the city's website. At this time, I'll ask our city clerk if any notification or request for virtual meeting participation have been received by any members of the council.
Yes, Councilmember Francois has provided notification requesting virtual meeting participation.
Thank you, City Clerk. Councilmember Francois, would you please address the council?
Yes, good evening, Mayor, and thank you. I'm not feeling well this evening, and so I'm asking to participate remotely under the Just Cause provision of the Brown Act. And I can assure you that I will have my video and audio on throughout the meeting and that there are no other persons present in the room with me.
Okay.
And then I will just note for the record that we have a quorum of council members present in the chamber. Councilmember Francois has not exceeded the annual limits for virtual participation, and the city is providing a two-way audio-visual platform via Zoom. And the webinar ID is 874-7696-6093, and the passcode is 186165, and we will be repeating that throughout the meeting.
Thank you very much, and welcome, virtual person. As some attendees may be participating in their first Walnut Creek City Council meeting, I wanted to welcome everybody and talk briefly about the public comment process. For each agenda item, there will be an opportunity for the public to comment on that item. Thus, if you desire to speak on an item that's on the agenda this evening, please hold your comments until the City Council considers that item. Additionally, we have a section of the agenda that is titled Public Communication, which is for public comments on items not on the agenda. Any comments during public communication should not relate to an item on the agenda this evening. And consistent with Section 9.5 of the City Council Handbook, we'll have 30 minutes initially allocated for public communication for items not on the agenda. Additional time for public communications for items not on the agenda will be provided at the end of the open session portion of the meeting if necessary. So if you do desire to provide a public comment, please complete a speaker identification card and line up behind the lectern at the appropriate time. Wait your turn. And when you approach the lectern, please state your name, city of residence for the record, and you'll have your 2 minutes to address us. Please keep in mind that this is a city business meeting, and the City Council has adopted rules of decorum to ensure that meetings are conducted efficiently and effectively, and that all members of the public have a full, fair, and equal opportunity to be heard. The City Council Handbook outlines decorum expected in the council chamber and can be found on our website. All remarks should be addressed to the City Council, and please do not use threatening, profane, or abusive language which disrupts, disturbs, or otherwise impedes the orderly conduct of the council meeting. Again, everybody will have their 2 minutes to make their remarks. Written comments submitted and received up to 2 hours before the meeting have been posted on the city's website for public review and are included in the meeting record, but not read separately into the record. And so, now that we've finished all of the important organizing stuff, it's time for the Pledge of Allegiance, so please join me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. City Clerk Susie Martinez, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember DeVinny,
Here.
Councilmember Francois,
Here.
Councilmember Silva,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Wilk,
Here.
and Mayor Darling.
Here. All right, next up on the agenda is a chance for us to present a proclamation recognizing the month of February as American Heart Month. And Venus Kay and a couple other representatives from the American Heart Association are here in attendance to receive this proclamation. And I'd like to invite her up, and we'll have a little over here. So this proclamation is honoring this as National Heart Health Month. And about 350,000 people experience cardiac arrest outside of the hospital each year, some even at the Lesher Theater. And about 70% happen at home, but only 1 in 10 can survive. And we need to make sure that we have CPR, that people are aware of things. And so I happy to present this award, or this proclamation today. I won't go through and read it all, but I'll let Venus give the, and I didn't introduce, I'll let Venus introduce you guys and give us the message. Give us the when do you call 911?
Exactly.
Why is this important?
Thank you so much, Mayor Darling. I have my colleagues here. I have, would you like to introduce yourselves?
Yeah. I'm Jaren Brown with the Bay Area American Heart Association.
Hi, my name is Mariel Mendoza, also with the Heart Association and Walnut Creek resident. I'm Victoria Target, also part of the Bay Area American Heart Association, and I also live in Walnut Creek.
Thank you all so much. My name is Venus Key with the American Heart Association, and we thank you for recognizing February as American Heart Month this year and for acknowledging our mission and work of saving lives from heart disease and stroke. This year, as we move into the Heart Association's second century of impact, we're especially focused on building a nation of lifesavers so that we're all prepared in our communities to react to a cardiac emergency by calling 911 and knowing how to perform CPR. Over 350,000 people experience out-of-hospital cardiac arrest in the United States every year. Currently, almost 90% do not survive. That is why we have this opportunity and a bold goal to double cardiac arrest survivors rate by 2030. And that's why we are encouraging people to act and to use CPR to save lives of friends, loved ones, and community members who would otherwise not survive. Now, as a Contra Costa County resident myself, a parent, and a member of the American Heart Association's Bay Area team, several of whom are with me today, I urge the people of Walnut Creek to learn CPR. We did, and you can too. We are also proud and honored to have served the city of Walnut Creek through our support of your tobacco retail license ordinance in 2021 and hosting our annual Heart Walk in Walnut Creek in 2024. The American Heart Association gratefully accepts this proclamation and the city's continued support of this work. Thank you.
I guess I should be. Anyway. Thank you guys very much for the work that you do. It's so important for our community. And my next proclamation is for Margaret Campos. And I'm going to read this one before we ask you to get up here. Because Margaret Campos, and she did not make it rain tonight just to make this more important. She has spent countless hours volunteering time to coordinate, promote, teach, and mobilize the Walnut Creek Community Emergency Response Team, otherwise known as CERT. Since 2019, Margaret has served as the Walnut Creek Community Emergency Response Team Program Manager. Through her leadership during COVID-19, that's a little bit of a thing, and through her creation of a new CERT website, Walnut Creek CERT YouTube channel, and new training programs, she has revamped the Walnut Creek CERT. Through various and diversified trainings such as school active shooter drills, traffic and crowd management, utility safety for first responders, American Red Cross shelter training, home fire safety training, workplace disaster preparation, and evacuation support drills, she has helped us prepare for emergencies and disasters that may affect the community. Through partnership with both Martinez and Concord CERT, Contra Costa Fire, Caltrans, FEMA, Zone Haven, PG&E, and the Contra Costa County Department of Health, Rossmore, and the Golden Rain Foundation, and the Trinity Center, she has brought valuable training to the community all over the place, teaching skills like team organization, fire safety, first aid, and light search and rescue. And through Margaret's leadership and selfless commitment, she has helped prepare the Walnut Creek community for emergencies and disasters, providing a great positive impact on the community. And I, Cindy Darling, Mayor of Walnut Creek, on behalf of Walnut Creek Council, do want to recognize Margaret Campos on the occasion of your retirement from CERT. And thank you for everything. So meet me up there. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to do this one. Sorry, I forgot to do this part. I'm the new mayor. I'm still not like,
I'm going to take my glasses off.
oh, I'm going to leave mine
My
on.
readers, my cheaters.
Anyway, go ahead and thank you for everything you've done for us. And
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Darling. And thank you, City Council. Thank you, Walnut Creek Police Department, Chief Knox, and our liaisons, the CERT program's liaisons within the police department. They've been so kind to me personally and supportive, and it's just been a great experience learning about disaster preparedness and then bringing other people along. I appreciate this proclamation. I'm accepting it on behalf of all of our Walnut Creek certs because, you know, there are people who years ago started this program. These are people that taught me, people who have supported me. There are some that have come tonight. Our emergency communications people are here, our logistics people are, all of these people who have maintained every year preparedness and who have taught their neighbors and others how to remain prepared. So thank you very much. I'm going to still be a boots on the ground cert. I'm just not going to manage. I'm still going to be an emergency communicator. And we just would encourage every person in the city of Walnut Creek. It's not just about having a go bag. You need to have water. You need to have heavy items secured on the wall. You need to have a family plan. And you can get training around the Bay Area. CERT training is universal. So we encourage you to get CERT training. There may be a lapse here for a little while, but you can get it in many other cities. So thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
Thank you, and thank you all who came to help tonight with both of these proclamations. Next on the agenda is the consent calendar. Does any council member wish to pull any item for discussion, or does any staff member wish to pull an item?
Yes, Mayor, I'd like to pull item F.
All right, any other? All right, does any member of the public wish to? Oh,
Yeah, I'd like to pull item E.
So we are now dealing with A through D as a consent calendar. Does any I saw that, Kevin. I saw that. Matt, you don't want to pull something? Okay. Does any member of the public wish to comment on an item on the consent calendar, items A through D? And as a reminder, each speaker will have 2 minutes to make their remarks. Written comments submitted before have been posted to the website for public review and are included in the record but will not be separately read. And just in case anybody needs it, the ID number for the Zoom is 874-769-66093, passcode 186165. Does anybody wish to address the? Okay. Motion.
Move to approve A through D.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Wilk,
Aye.
Councilmember Silva,
Hi.
Councilmember Devaney,
Aye.
Councilmember Francois,
Aye.
Mayor Darling.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right. So now let's go and start with item E from the consent calendar.
Okay. Yeah, I just have a couple. One is maybe a statement, and the other a question. So I was wondering, this is how we're preventing like trip prevention by addressing the sidewalks, and has that turned out to be a cost-effective measure? How is that working out?
Good evening, Rich Payne, Public Works Director. So the program has been definitely a success. This consultant helps us sort of balance the hazards in our community, specifically related to concrete. So that we have a replacement program and we have precision that comes in and sort of shaves those trip hazards down. And what we've done is we've divided the city up into 3 sections, and every 3 years we go through the entire city, identify those hazards throughout, and we'll go through and shave those down. And Precision is a company that we've been working with for a while. We have a lot of success, and we've seen a dramatic reduction in trip and fall cases. So it's been a definite success, and that's why we're going to continue this program. In addition to our every 3 years, we do the entire city and inspect and shave. We do the downtown every year, just before our holiday season starts, just because of the influx of pedestrians in our downtown. So, and that has also proven to be a very effective way to manage our sidewalks. So.
Great, thank you. And then, you know, I had the instance just recently of watching someone trip on something downtown, and I brought it to your attention. But if someone were like a citizen were downtown or walking around on our sidewalks or someplace else, and they saw something like that or a tripping hazard, what would be the way to report that?
So the most effective way to do that is to call Public Works. And that number is 925-943-5854. And you can talk to Kathy. She will put the right people on the job. Our street maintenance crews will respond within 24 hours, temporarily mitigate that problem, and then put it on our list for permanent repair.
All right, thank you, Rich.
You're welcome.
Did you, Rich? Psh. You were too fast. One more quick question.
Thank you. I just want to thank you and the team at Public Works for all the work that you do in the community. I can attest to the efficiency and the quick responses you all make to trip and fall hazards, because I found a few over my 10 or 12 years of walking almost every morning in the community. I swear I'm your person tipping you off.
You're always helpful, yes.
But I also want to commend their team because they were out this morning in the rain. I saw them putting up hazard bollards and signs for curbs where the flooding was starting. So tell them thank you.
Thank you, and I will definitely pass that message on. So,
All right.
thanks.
Would you like to make a motion?
Yeah, okay. I'll make a motion to pass consent item E, entering into a public works agreement with Precision LLC.
I'll second that. Let's have the roll call vote.
Councilmember Davini,
Aye.
Mayor Darling.
Aye.
Councilmember Francois,
Aye.
Councilmember Silva,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Wilk.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right. And now item 2F. I think that was yours,
Yes.
Councilmember Silva.
Thank you very much. Item 2F is the awarding of a contract for the road-based failure repair and restriping project on Ignacio Valley Road. And this is fine. I can't tell you the number of people that have asked me in the last 2 weeks when we're going to do the eastern half of Ignacio Valley Road. And I was so pleased yesterday when I read this, or the day before when I read this in the agenda, that it was happening now. It's basically going to cover, if I can get both the east and west lanes of Ignacio Valley Road from the eastern edge of the city to basically Sports Basement and Heather Farm Park, San Carlos Drive. But it also includes some road traffic safety improvements. So could you describe those, please?
Sure, definitely. So Smidar Boardman, city engineer. Yeah, so you can kind of look at those two sections a little differently. The section between San Carlos, which is where Heather Farm Park is, and Oak Grove, we're going to be putting in a yellow stripe next to the median, which is something that we did during the last paving project for Ignacio between San Carlos and Civic. It just provides a little more space between vehicles and the actual median itself. And then it also provides a secondary improvement, which is it narrows the lanes down, which helps with facilitating a little bit of slower movement by vehicles. It makes it a little less comfortable to speed. So similar treatment for that section. The other nice thing about it is that on that section, the striping, or what we call striping, but really the paint on the ground, we don't have paint right now. We have these little pucks. That's an outdated version of how you demarcate travel lanes. And we're going with the newer Caltrans standard, which is lighter and brighter and more reflective at night and in the rain. So that'll be really clear for folks. Those things just deteriorate over time. Our maintenance staff has been amazing at replacing it. It's just an older material. So that'll be part of it, so higher visibility. And then on the uphill section, or really that hilly section east of Oak Grove, we're really just doing more of the base repairs, which is the paving work. But on the downhill section, as you're going westbound from Concord towards Walnut Creek, there is a right turn lane that folks use to make this westbound right turn, and then they'll go up northbound on Oak Grove. And what we've heard from lots of residents and what we've seen is, and we've also heard this from our police department as well, is that people will make that right turn and then make a quick U-turn, which is an illegal maneuver in that location. And so we're going to be putting in this material called a tough curb, but it's basically a little yellow hump that has a delineator, a little tall white cone attached to it. Or I guess it would be a yellow cone, but it's the same treatment that Concord actually has just up the way on Oak Grove, just north of Treat. So similar material that we'll be installing. And then another piece is that we'll be changing the paint on the ground as you make that right turn maneuver in the hopes that people will slow down as they're going through it. Right turn slip lanes were identified as one of the main issues at some of our intersections in our local roadway safety plan. So it is a traffic safety improvement that we're looking forward to, and it's just kind of a test as we use these short-term materials.
So I don't assume we're starting tomorrow, given the weather. When is the time frame for the project, and how long will it take?
Yeah, so long as weather clears up, we're anticipating that we might be able to start in late spring to early summer. And we think that it'll be about a month work of construction. But, we have to slip into whatever the contractor is able to slip us into in terms of timeline. But we'll be through certainly before the rainy season starts in the next year. So,
And how will we let residents from the area know when the work will occur so they can bypass it?
yeah, so we're going to try and reduce the impact, but anything that occurs on Ignacio Valley Road is going to be impactful in some kind of way. So we'll be notifying neighbors. We'll also be using our communication channels, next door, social media, and the like. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Madar. Couple questions. You'd mentioned about the whatever's being installed, like Concord has, to prevent U-turns. I didn't quite understand how what you were describing prevents a U-turn.
Yeah, so it's actually just kind of this physical vertical barrier, and so you can't. I mean, you could run it over, I suppose, but it would not be a good experience for drivers. But it's like a tall kind of. We have these traffic cones everywhere that are taller, and so it would restrict people from being able to make a U-turn
On Oak Grove.
On Oak Grove,
On Oak Grove,
that's right,
okay.
just before the shade lines intersection.
Right, okay, thanks. And then the other question is this the same or different type of repaving down Ignacio that we'd had a couple of years ago that was between Civic and San Carlos? Is this like completely redoing it all, or is it just the repair work?
Yeah, so this is what we call base repairs. So we're just looking at the repairing these small sections of roadway. They're really limited in length. So it's not redoing the pavement of everything. We're not going to have clean new black pavement everywhere. It's just these small sections where we think that there might be some structural failures, and so we're trying to mitigate those in advance of a future paving project that we can do, which we do have slated for 2026 is the design. We're starting the design for that, where we got some federal earmark that we can still hopefully use.
That's what I had heard, is like 2026 to 27, somewhere in there.
Right, for the section from Oak Grove up towards Concord.
Right, okay, great, thank you.
All right, any more questions? All right, anybody want to do a motion?
I will. Move to award the contract 2412, the Ignacio Valley Road Base Failure Repair and Restriping Project to MCK Services Incorporated.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Silva.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Wilk.
Aye.
Councilmember Davini.
Aye.
Councilmember Francois.
Aye.
And Mayor Darling.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, that brings us to this portion of the meeting is reserved for comment on items not on the agenda. This is public communications. Under the Brown Act, the council cannot act on items raised during public communications, but may respond briefly to statements made or questions posed, request clarification, or refer the item to staff. Consistent with Section 9.5 of the City Council Handbook, 30 minutes will be allocated this time for public communication for items not on the agenda. Additional time for public communication for items not on the agenda will be provided at the end of the meeting if necessary. Again, the ID code is 874-7696-6093, passcode 186165. And if anybody wants to address us, please step forward to the podium with your speaker card.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen, members of the council. My name's Eric Wright. I'm a resident of Walnut Creek and a recent resident. Moved here a few months ago and figured I'd attend a few meetings to kind of get to know the affairs of the city and of relevance to something that was discussed last meeting. Last year I graduated from Berkeley Law School, got a certificate in real estate law, and I wrote a paper on the builder's remedy. So this is mostly directed at Councilman Davini. You had mentioned a builder's remedy project at the last meeting. And the topic of my paper was it's not at all clear that the builder's remedy is permissible under the California Constitution. but I would not advise challenging it because the courts have given great deference to HCD and the state of California. But just two quick notes on the builder's remedy. Number one, as Councilman Davini, these are kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place because of delays in HCD approving housing elements. In 2023,
there and was happy to welcome people. I am a member of the Cal City's Environmental Quality Policy Committee. I was up in Sacramento about a week and a half ago. I'm trying to remember now. And we talked about, it was our first meeting of the year. I've been on the committee now for 6 years. And our objectives for this year, probably for most years actually, are strengthening climate change resiliency and strengthening infrastructure for sustainability. And the issues for 2025 that have been identified that we'll be working on are, well, number one was disaster preparedness and fire hazard zone mapping, obviously very topical, greenhouse gas reduction fund, water management legislation, coastal legislation, clean energy and grid reliability and affordability, CEQA reform legislation, we're hearing a lot of that throughout the state now, and AB 98, which is the warehouse bill cleanup legislation. So we'll be hearing a lot more about these. Our next meeting with the committee is in March, and I'll be providing information about that as we get closer. We also had the Mayor and Mayor Pro Tem Commission Chair meeting this last Friday. This is a quarterly meeting with all the chair and vice chairs of our different commissions, which is always great because they get to hear what's happening in the city related to their own commissions, and then we're able to give them some insights into what's happening at the city that they may not be aware of. So I don't know if you have anything more to share on that, but it's when I was on commissions, that was great to be able to hear from the commission perspective because we just don't get enough of that typically in our day-to-day lives. This last weekend, on one of the days, there was a JCRC-sponsored banjo discussion for the day. That's Bay Area Network of Jewish Elected Officials. There is a lot of this in the news. We're hearing a lot from constituents. Those elected officials that are Jewish throughout the Bay Area, and I'm talking about mayors and council, and there are board members of schools, there's city attorneys, there are a variety of different areas. We're all getting emails of people that are worried about anti-Semitism in our communities. Whether or not it's existing, we're getting those emails. And so we discussed of how the JCRC can help to provide information, talking points to cities, and really help to coordinate efforts so that we have consistent talking points among the different cities. It's very helpful. Obviously, we've had some very unfortunate circumstances that have happened in these council chambers with Zoom bombing and people that have come in person to spread hate speech. And to be able to have talking points that we can then refer to when needed has been really helpful, not just for me, but for people that are across the city. So about 25 banjo members were there at this particular meeting. And leading that, I will be flying tomorrow. We have the Cal City City Manager Conference in Palm Springs, and I know that our city manager and assistant city manager will be flying down to that. And I'm flying down to be part of a session that I'm hosting on if hate speech comes into your council chambers, what can be done? What are the parameters? What has to be allowed? And what are some of the ways that you can also do things to temp that situation down? So that is a session that I led at the city clerk Cal City session a few months ago, and I'll be doing that again tomorrow. And I think we'll probably be having about 480 or 90 city managers from across the state. So that information is getting out. And that's my report.
Thank you very much. Okay, so a couple things as mayor. I did go to the new mayors and new council members with the League of California Cities, and that was really interesting. I came on council in 2020, and there was no such thing then because we were all sitting in our offices hiding. So it was really good, and also a good chance to get out and talk to a lot of our fellow council members from cities around us. Matt Wren is the new BART director for our area, and Matt and the general manager for BART reached out and met with Dan and myself and talked about the relationship between BART and the city. They reviewed their program to put the fare evader-proof gates up. They are promising that those gates will be in all the stations by the end of the year, and that should be a tremendous help with the making BART feel safe. And I think we all, those of us that ride BART on occasion have recognized it is getting cleaner. They are working hard at making it safe. but those fare gates are going to be huge for that. And so we are going to continue a discussion with them about ways that BART and the city can work together. So that was really good to hear from him. The other thing that happened at the quarterly breakfast meeting with our chairs of all our different commissions, we are in the process of setting our city priorities, and we as the council will meet and set those later this month. We've asked all of our commissions to give us their perspective on what those priorities should be. So we heard a lot of good detail, really thoughtful input. Some people were thinking about their area of responsibility and how it works with others. Others had, the Youth Commission had their perspective. So it was really good to hear that as we go into our priority setting. With Congressman DeSaulnier, I was really glad to get a chance to introduce him. We also had a really great new staff member who was moderating that one. And what I wanted to say when I was introducing him is that we are Walnut Creek, and we have a mission statement that is to make our city safe and welcoming for everyone. And I think we will continue to do what we will continue to do, and we hope that everything works out. And I know that's a little Pollyannish, but it's what I hope. Couple things coming up. State of the City is on the 20th of February. It will be out at Shadelands. This is a great opportunity to hear everything that's going on in the city. We'll be unveiling our priorities for the 2 years, plus answering a lot of questions. Chief Knox will give an update on public safety. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about is the city is a member of MCE, which is our electricity supplier for the majority of the residents of the city. And when we joined it in 2016, it was with the hope that we could get a more renewable, greenhouse gas-friendly source of electricity. And MCE has continued to drive for that. The electricity being supplied by MCE is between 60 and 100% renewable, as compared to only 33% for PG&E. The cost that MCE is acquiring power for is well below what PG&E is charging when PG&E delivers it to the customers, and that charge from PG&E evens it out. So basically, you're paying about what you would get from PG&E, but you're getting a much greener product, and we are about 18 years ahead of MCE's goals for greenhouse gas reduction, which is really great. So that's the good news. The challenging news is that there are some changes going on in the renewable market in California. Power availability, especially renewable power, is gotten very much in demand. The cost has gone up. There have been some regulatory and policy changes. One of the other things that we're seeing is that a lot of the new solar resources are going into areas where there is not a lot of demand. So it requires the electricity to travel across the grid a fair distance. And there's a number of places where there are bottlenecks. And so when those bottlenecks come into play, MCE is still obligated to pay for the power that the supplier is trying to put on the grid. But because we can't get it from there to where the demand is, we have to buy power a second time. So we're working with PG&E to find ways to reduce those transmission delivery problems. Let's see, what else is going on? There's a bunch of different things going on. The good news is that we do not anticipate MCE needing to raise rates. We have not raised them since 2023. We looked at our investment report, our strategic plan for energy, and the draft budget for the year. We'll adopt the budget in April. And with all of that, it does not look like we will need to raise rates, which is a good thing for so many of our families that are really struggling with their power costs. So more updates as we go forward, but that is my report. So now we are ready for the part of this thing where I have to find. Next on the agenda is the closed session relating to the conference with labor negotiators. And does any member of the public wish to comment on the closed session item? Everybody would have 2 minutes, all of you. 2 minutes? Anyone? Is there nobody on Zoom? All right, seeing no speakers in the city council chambers, we will reconvene in closed session in the second floor council members, and thank you all very much for coming.